A more effective way to overcome fear. So some people will say just face your fears and you'll get rid of them. And I think there's some degree to that. It's a process that involves, I think it's called flooding. I'm not sure but about that. But that's all well and good, but that's a difficult way to overcome your fears because you're always going to feel afraid anyway. And eventually, if you confront your fears, a lot of them will go away, but you'll constantly be feeling afraid and you'll constantly be trying to avoid the situation because you don't want it, you don't want to face it. So you'll be fighting yourself, and fighting yourself is always difficult. I'm not saying that you shouldn't fight yourself sometimes, because sometimes you have to realize that there's a more mature part of yourself and a less mature part of yourself. So it's not even always fight. It's just, going with the higher part of yourself. But and the two are not mutually exclusive, but there is a way that is sometimes better and easier. Not always, because nothing in life is absolute, generally speaking, except for maybe God, if you believe in it. So, which I do. A more effective way of facing your fear is based on the concept of what's called incompatible responses, meaning that if there's an emotion that you don't want to feel an incompatible emotion in place of it. So the incompatible emotion to fear is excitement. So I used to be kind of a sheltered person. I grew up in Maine, which I'm not saying Maine is all sheltered, but it is the, safest state in the country, and only 1.3 million people in the whole state. We didn't even lock our doors, at least our car doors. I'm not sure about our house when we were growing up. I grew up in a small town. So what is the incompatible? So I used to feel, not fear, but just kind of like maybe live like in la la land a little bit and not really understanding everything about the world. Not that it's possible to understand everything, but so getting back to incompatible responses for fear, the incompatible response for fear that I found to be most effective is, drum roll, excitement. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. Like, what happens is, you start doing things and you're like, oh, it's not working out as fast as I thought, or it's not working out as well as I thought, or as quick as I thought. And you get more nervous and you want to avoid it. You think it's never going to happen. But what happens is, if you can start replacing fear with excitement, start getting like little wins. That's why it's important to do micro things. Like Warren Buffett says, for what I read, that just get a little bit smarter every day. Like if you see like you're even making incremental progress on your goals, even if it's small, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is exciting. Maybe I got 1% progress, but the next day I got 2% progress or 1.5% progress. Like, yeah, if I just keep this up for a while, and then you look back, over a month or a year or 10 years, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a totally different person than I used to be. That's how I feel about my life. Like, I'm much, much more confident than I used to be, just because I've done a lot of things. I mean, there's still a lot more that I want to do, but think about what you have to do in your life to rack up, small successes leading to big successes, and how to generate a sense of excitement for yourself. Because if you're excited, like Warren Buffett says, I believe he says he skips to the office every day. He's so excited. Especially if you're feeling fear in your life, think about how to, start replacing it with little wins, so you get more excited. And also visualization is another form of excitement. Love is another form of excitement, whether it be love of a person or love of an activity. There's different ways you can build excitement in your mind. And when you're very excited, baby, you're not going to be fearful.